Oh, I don't think they can hear us.
Tragic.
Oh, now we can. Hi. Deathline, do you want to do your wonderful intro again?
Hello. Hi, Sunshine Community. All right. TLDR. We're back. Final semifinals match. Game 3. Row control.
I
I'm
just wanted you
Deathline.
to say final semifinal match again because I like how it
Yeah.
sounded.
It is the
It rolls off the
final.
tongue nice.
It is the final semifinals match of the league here in Game 3 of one half of the Division 2 set of the bracket. And yeah, joined by Mojongo.
What's up, everyone? We got row control. Um, yeah, layout still being updated. It looks like from last match, so hang tight. Um, yeah, we were just talking about the format of row control and our thoughts on that. Mason, he likes row control.
Big fan of row control.
He likes it so much he chose it in a showcase match against Ramato, so it shows his confidence in the format very well. But I'm not going to say it's a bad format for Hay either, just because I think Hay's biggest strength is his routing and his ability to see the card so well. And in row control, that's also so important.
Very much so.
And so it's a strong format for both players. I think that just makes this game 3 even that much more hype.
Yep. We have the card. Let us see what we're looking at for row control here. Got some interesting blues goals up in row 1. Got 4 different varieties. Totals, NPCs, 7 bluebirds, and butterfly blue, along with 6 Rico, which can help give you access for that butterfly blue.
There's also 5 and 8 NPCs now. You might
Yes.
and you were just talking about how Rico, Shadow, Mario, and Butterfly kind of go together, but 5 NPCs and 8 NPCs are also in row 1. So kind of interesting how that worked out like that. 6 Rico shines also being in row 1 makes Rico make a lot of sense, a lot more sense probably, but
yeah, 1 turbo over there in row 3, which is nice if you get to Rico 7. We got 4 uniques and 4 bosses on the card.
5 bosses and 4 bosses in the same row,
And 5
too.
bosses, yep. And then down in row 5, you got 3 secrets, 4 hiddens, some more totals and blues, and then cannon moles. Noki on this card is not great, looking like it. Yeah,
I mean, there's cannon moles and there's Noki 100 coin shine.
Yeah, just 2 shines out of there, and maybe the bird if you're really desperate for a 4th hidden.
Yeah, maybe it stays up that long, maybe not. But I mean, there's still a reason to get to Noki because if you're trying to finish out row 2 or row 5, basically whoever wins to Noki is going to win those rows potentially. That could have a major impact on those 2 rows.
See, 7 licks in row 2. You got 12 level shines, which is going to go nicely with Rico and Bianco, which Bianco for Harvest is on the card. Aside from that, you got some kind of weird goals like Piana Hidden. It's not great, though there is 5 from 2 on the card. You got hundreds in a secret, which you don't really have any other hundreds other than Noki hundreds, which you're not going to be doing Noki 600s in a secret in this card.
No, that should not last that long.
2 dual hiddens is kind of weird because it does give you 2 of the 4 hiddens, but aside from that, it's kind of just like a weird bot of a time sink for 3 level shines and 2 hiddens.
Especially like you don't get progress towards reds really, with no red coin goals on the card, and there's no like 2 from 5 or 3 from 4. It helps build towards either.
Yeah, 5 from 2 with Gelato is not great, though you do have uniques and 5 bosses, so it's not terrible to get Wiggler, I suppose, but suffering through Gelato 2 does not seem pleasant on this card.
Yeah, the one thing that stands out to me is just Rico is very good.
Rico and blues, yeah, they're pretty solid here. Bianco not terrible. with
don't
Hoverless
know if
and
blues are that good
Turbo.
on this card, personally. I just feel like every
Uh,
blues row, you kind of can win without blues potentially. Like the true blues goals on this card, there's not very many, right? I would
yeah.
say there's the totals goals in row 1 and row 5. Row 4 with 13 Delfino shines with blue trades, that's definitely also a blues goal.
Yes.
Other than that, they're not really blues goals, but more just time commitment or level progress goals. And like, yeah, you'll get blues if you do 7 links, but really that's just you go to a few worlds and you put some extra time into pin a 1 to get 7
Yeah,
links.
the totals aren't great aside from 13 shines from Delfino, which if that row gets contested, then it may become important. But the real joy is the NPCs and the bluebirds on this card because right, if you split right 50 totals, 5 NPCs or 6 Rico, then you're left with butterfly and bluebirds, which bluebirds means you have to either suffer through all of Pianta, which Pianta does offer you 8 NPCs up at Pianta 6, gets you access to that Pianta hidden, pretty fast level shines. Otherwise, you got to go through Peter 2, which is kind of meh, but I mean, you also have reason to go that far in Bianca with Bianca for Harvest. There's the Turbo, gets you another secret. There's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there could be a cheesy play with actually going deep Bianco because there's another NPC also in Bianco 5, right?
Mhm.
So that really helps towards 5 NPCs or 8 NPCs if you're trying to counter the Rico play. Um, you'll have some good hundreds and a secret opportunities in Bianco. You can always pivot to that as well. Uh, Butterfly, even if you really want to do that and feel like you need to do that for row 1, you could do that in Bianco. Now Rico is stronger, but the more I
Yeah.
look at it, Bianco is potentially better.
Mm,
I think it keeps your options more open. I'll put it that way.
hmm.
Like
Yeah, we'll have to see.
even Turbo you could get earlier in Bianco than say Rico, right?
It's true.
And so you could use Bianco as a way to counter Rico because if you try and race Rico and lose, you're going to lose the game. But if you can use Bianco to counter Rico, you can at least take Rico value away. Almost for sure if you play your cards
Yeah, I
somewhat
think
right.
if you're gonna do Bianca though, you're gonna have to commit it. Kind of hard, I
Yeah.
feel.
Like this might be a
Like
situation where you just do Bianco 2 through 5 at a minimum.
yeah, because you're gonna want it for 5 from 2. You're probably not gonna win level shines, but you're still gonna contest 4.
Yeah, four bosses for sure is the crucial goal, the way I see it.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual 4 boss rush is. I'm guessing it's just what Bianco. Would it be Bianco 2, 5, Manta, and
Rico 1.
Rico 1? Is that what a 4 boss rush would be?
Uh, sure.
Not saying that's
Sure.
good, but it could be a play just to really make sure you win that row.
Yeah. So Mason setting up for Plunderbill here is not gonna hit it. Hay getting Jail Blue, so slightly up. Yeah, Mason wants to shave as much time off as possible in getting towards Rico, but fortunately not quite there for that.
Yeah, we'll see what Hay does. Hasn't really given us any reason to believe they're going one world or another. We could also see if Mason stays towards the path of Rico. I've definitely seen matches where players change their mind after missing something and saying, screw it, we'll go this place instead.
Yep.
Okay, Hay going out of his way for M's.
Yep.
So that's down there in row 5.
Yeah, 17. Definitely takes a bit more commitment than 15. So.
Alright, so Hay's going to grab 2 of the 3 Delfino M's. Probably going to leave the other M for the Rico unlock.
Yep. Mason with an Underbell.
Alright, and Hay is in Bianco.
Mason going for K-Kona clip here. See if he nails it. Very nicely done.
Alright, so I think Hay should go through Bianco 5 here. At least get that shine done before leaving. How late or how much do you think Hay should commit to Bianco here, in your opinion?
Well, they're grabbing the link early, so usually when you do that, it shows you don't want to stay here too long.
Yeah, that's a good point.
At least through 4, in my opinion, if you're not going to pick up the turbo.
Yeah,
give you that option later.
He might just be grabbing these blues because he's unsure how late he's going to stay and wants to just grab them in case he ever does decide to bail. And he doesn't say, "Oh, I don't have those blues. I need to go back anyway."
Yeah, I mean, I see that reasoning, but I also think that it's early in the game, so you might as well just build the progress anyways. There's 3 secrets, right? 4 hiddens. There's reason enough to open up this stuff. Level shines.
Yeah. No, I think I definitely side more with your line of reasoning there as well. But, it's game 3. These players for sure have nerves.
Yeah, unless Hay's, planning on, world touring for M graffitis early.
Oh, and M's.
It would be
even then, you're gonna open up Rico before you even get to Pinna or anything that you could world tour with. So Mason grabbing some of the Rico 1 exclusive M's there. He's ignoring all the rest. Yeah, so Rico has 9 M's, which makes it super important for just about any M's goal. Especially 17. Bianco has 4 M's, 3 in the village, 1 on the windmill that, you always talk about people getting, and there's not really much of a reason to skip it in bingo. And then Delfino has 3, so together that gets you up to 16, right? And then
7 plus 9, yes.
Yeah, and then Gelato can get you an extra 1 that has 1 there, and then Pinna has
3.
3?
Yep. Pianta has 6, but only 4 available in episode 1 and 2. So.
Yeah, there's a couple Pianta 3 exclusive M's.
Finishing up their respective bosses. So 1 boss of each, 1 unique boss of each. A piece. Peach. Yeah, whatever.
I kind of like that, though.
I just think, Bianco's in this weird spot for Hay, and he's going to have to be kind of creative with his routing to work around the Rico progress, or Rico's strength on this card. Right, you need to contest NPCs, you need to contest bosses, you're losing level shines probably, you're not super well set up for Butterfly.
I think the real strength of Bianco is it's not that apparent how well it counters Rico until you get a really good look at it. And if Mason doesn't see how well it counters certain things, then he could get caught out by it. That being said, Mason's a very good player. I'm sure he sees that and will be playing around that. But if he maybe misses 1 or 2 things about the Bianco counter, it could really bite him badly. Oh, hey, this life is not worth it.
Yeah, hey, trying real hard to pick up this life for 22 lives. Yeah, this is kind of just a sit and wait. Okay, Mason only going to do two out of Rico. He's now off to go open Gelato, it seems. Yeah, good setup. I think I
shows he's not really. Go ahead.
I think I would have preferred Mason to do Rico 3 and maybe even 4 and then go after he sees this click. Because otherwise, right, you're still in the dark and you don't know if you're just feeding Rico to your opponent at this point.
Yeah, it's tough to say. It'll be interesting to see what Hay does here because if you remember, Hay was not fast to get here. Hay got M's in Delfino. Hay got a bunch of blues in episode 1/2, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Even in episode 3, wasn't the fastest getting that life at the end. Does Hay delay Bianco 4 hoverless? I think that's a serious question Hay might be asking. Now, I'm normally not an advocate for delaying the first goal of the game, but in this situation, it tells and telegraphs so much info about your start when you click that it might be worth delaying.
Yeah, Mason will either take it as a, wow, he took a really long time to get that goal, or he picked up a number of blues to get that goal.
Or I have free reign at Rico, and I better not let Bianco sneak up on me. And yeah, we're seeing the delay right now by Hay, which I think is a really, really smart and high-level delay.
Yes, if he goes to Rico.
I don't even think if he goes to Rico, I think it's more of just don't give Mason your route away and let him have free reign at Rico.
Well, if Hay made a decision to go to like Gelato though for 2 Gelato hit-ins, that would have been a worse usage of your delay of Bianco progress.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I think Hay's gonna probably enter Rico for the boss and M's, and then probably leave, then go to Gelato just to get 17 M's. If I had to guess.
That seems reasonable. Mason finishing up Gelato 1, back in, gonna pick up the only M in Gelato, and then off towards the hidden. Each player with 1 secret to their name. There's Bianco Parva's click, just enough to get into Rico.
Yeah, it's always scary to delay the first click of the match. I still think Hay could have maybe delayed it a little longer. But I understand the click. I am a fan of delaying it just a little bit.
Now, the thing with 17 M's is you have to pick up all 9 here, otherwise you pick up the fast, or the accessible 7, and then get 3 elsewhere, which you can do in Pinna.
Yeah, I think it's still worth it to get that goal. Although
then now it's like you're considering, do I play for totals as well, since I'm picking up so many Rico blues and links and all this stuff.
At the same time, Mason's also making a play for blues here with links, as well as having the option for M's as well. Yeah, although he didn't really go too hard for M's and Rico, so
just the exclusives.
Yeah, not that big of an option. Oh, that's a big miss. Having that linked timeout on him.
Yeah, that's the easier half, so.
It's easy until you start going for blues and you bonk a little bit. Then it starts getting a little tight.
Yeah, that blue stays up for like 15 seconds like once you gain control of Mario. Maybe like 20, somewhere around there. Takes quite a bit of time, but a couple of bonks and misplaced jumps, you can quite easily lose it. Mason finishing up Gelato 1 Reds. Hay continuing his blues adventure, looking to collect all Rico M graffitis. Put him up at a rough death for Mason.
Yeah, important. Also important. This will be Mason's second hidden shine, so taking a commanding lead in that, but still early for that goal.
Yeah, Hay up to 16 M graffitis now. Needs to get into another level, any level, basically. Well, except Serena, I guess, unless you want to go all the way to 7.
Basically, Gelato.
Or 5. But yeah.
Yeah, importantly, Mason is on pace to win to Pinna. Just needs 2 more shines to get there. Don't know where Mason might go for that.
Yeah, might go back to Rico now. Get 3 and 4, and that'll put him up to 2 secrets, and then goes to Pinna. Has a good shot at 3 secrets. Is up to hiddens. Is up to cannon moles. Doesn't need totals or M graffitis. Picking up his first NPC of the game.
Gotta love the Fire Pianta NPC.
And, yep, filling $2 hiddens just enough so he can get back to Rico. So, due to Hayes' Blues adventure, has still kept the lead in Rico, which is going to be pretty important for him.
Yeah, and Hayes at 7 shines with trades, with the 22 blues. So still a bit of ways from getting to Pinna.
Currently 5 to 4 on level shines. About to be 6 to 4.
Yeah, and Hayes about to spend another little bit just even unlocking Gelato to get there. So Mason's lead just in shines and level shines is going to further increase here.
We'll see if Mason considers doing Rico 5 and even Rico 6, since there is reason to do that pre-Pinna. Gets you another boss, which would then set you up to have 3 bosses with Pinna 1. And then once you've done Rico 5, you can consider just doing 6 or even hidden. Just to clean out 6 Rico shines and solidify your stake in row 1, which is very blues heavy.
Yeah, one thing I'm curious about for Mason is 7 linked, right? He's gotten linked in Gelato, and
Rico.
I think that's it. No,
I think he actually didn't pick up the Rico linked. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Gelato linked is by no means, like a fast thing to do. It's a little bit slow. So I'm curious to see what his thoughts are on 7 links and if he continues to go for that or not go for that, because he's kind of done a little bit of both.
Yeah. Okay, picking up their 17th M. Gonna delay that since they see Mason's first click with 2 Gelato hidden, so they're assuming they're not super set up for it, but just a tiny delay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a pretty scary one to delay, because you don't know where Mason has and hasn't been really. What he's done before going to Gelato there and how he reached Gelato. Yeah, so Mason is green, Hay is purple. Oh.
Yeah. Another Gelato 1 death. This time from Haywire. Mason first to Pinna. Hay gonna be cashing in on their second secret as well.
Yeah, Hay's sadly not favored to 3 secrets though, because Mason has 2 already and ahead to Pinna for second.
Yeah, Hay would need to either commit to Serena 2 or Bianca 6 or Rico 4.
Well, at this point, I think all those options lose to Mason's pin of 2. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
All right, and Hayes leaving Gelato, which makes sense. Not a lot left there for him.
We're gonna start with Fruit Ladies now.
I think they might actually
Serena?
be trying to go for Serena too.
This will set him up pretty nicely for unique bosses. So this will be Hayes' third boss and third unique. Mason currently working on their second boss, and second unique.
Yeah, 4 uniques is something Haywire probably wants. That'll get him 2 clicks in row 2. Although Mason is favored to 12 level shines, and actually, I would say both players are probably even to 7 links at this point. Hay maybe a little bit more favored for 7 links.
Okay. Hay picking up the NPCs, so he's up to 2 NPCs, I believe. He completely dodged Fire Pianta, but could still pick them up after the fact.
Yeah, Fire Pianta, he'll still be there running around.
So 5 from 2 is going to be pretty important for Hay coming forward because Mason has 4 out of Rico already, and then, I mean, getting Yoshi gets you 4 in Pinna. So, not that hard just to go, okay, I'll go do Pinna 2R for Hiddens. And you magically have 5 in Pinna. Helps the level count, level shine count as well, which Mason's currently at, I believe, 8 to Haywire's
1,
5?
2, 5. Yeah, 5. One thing I just noticed about Hay, he went to Gelato, but he did not grab the birds, I don't think, which is important for 7 birds. And if Hay's going to contest row 1 without Rico or Pinna with, Yoshi for Butterfly, the only goals you have left are 7 bluebirds, 5 NPCs, and 50 blues. And not grabbing the bluebirds in Gelato seems like a little bit of a mistake. Maybe it's something you worry about later.
Yeah, Mason also took a stab at the birds, but then very quickly let them go. So I don't believe either player has any birds at this point in time. There's 3 secrets for Mason. Set up really nicely currently for row 5. And yeah, Pinna 2 also, Pinna 2R sets you up for cannonballs. So
yeah, so that would get him also to 3 hiddens.
It looks like Mason just wanted to secure 3 secrets, get a nice little Pinna lead, and come back to Rico, since you don't know entirely what Hay is up to. And
yeah, I think this is the play for 4 bosses. Rico. Or this is the play for hiddens. I would have thought 4 bosses was more on Mason's mind, to be quite honest. And I think Hay is listening in on commentary now, going after this bird here.
Ooh, okay, so Mason coming into Rico for reds, also going to be picking up the linked here.
Interesting time to grab the linked.
I also think he... Oh, okay, only getting half of it? Oh, getting destroyed by the sign hitbox, because signs are huge in this game.
He might go for the other half in 5, just on the way to the fight.
I feel like you could have just picked it up right then and there. Start at the bottom and then get the one up top, and then just come back down with the one on top and then enter the secret. But
probably, but
either way, I guess it doesn't seem too bad.
Either way, it's you got to get the link somehow, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. He's gonna stop for the life here. Meanwhile, Hay back in Gelato, probably for links and bird, and maybe even the hidden, just to try and even out the hiddens.
Or not even for hidden, just to get shines, you know?
Okay.
He could really use easy, quick shines, and if you're already here, you might as well grab it.
Yeah. Hazen's at like 12 already, and Hay's at like 7. Yeah, 7 with some blues, so these blues are definitely taking a time out of Hay and also doing Manta early.
Early Manta, grabbing blues, did Bianco when your opponent didn't do Bianco, instead did some Delfinos. All that plays into Mason's lead. So up the hill, Haywire will go, eyeing some bluebirds as well as his hidden shine, like we said. Mason back into Rico. Could be for another hidden with Rico 2, but it's looking like the boss fight is what's on his mind.
Yep, gets you a little bit closer to Butterfly and his boss. Either shine would have been your 6th, so. And you probably want Pinna 2R as your.
Oh yeah, also true.
Your 4th hidden. Hay getting a little trolled by bird mechanics, but manages to find the final hit down the hill.
Gotta love these birds.
So it'll be interesting to see if Mason goes to Bianco here for the linked plus boss, or if he'll head back to Pinna, since he did not pick up the links in Pinna yet.
Yeah, so Mason has Gelato and Rico links. Maybe Delfinos, I'm not sure. I think Bianco probably a better play, just because you can get a 4th linked and it'll allow you to get 7 links. But even then, if you're gonna go do Rico 2R, or sorry, Pinna 2R, you can't grab the links in that level.
That is true. You would need to enter 1 or 3 at this point for Mason. Hey, coming out of Gelato, going to pick up Beach Shine. And Chuckster. Opting to do Delfino Shines instead of trading in. So kind of a little bit of setup for 13 Shines from Delfino.
Yeah, and these are fast shines, and to be quite honest, trading not as fast as you would think. You got a lot of text to mash through.
Yep. Okay, so Mason back in, going to finish up 4 hiddens with Pinna 2R. Have a very strong lead to Cannon Moles, while Hay is happily collecting Delfino Shines and Blues and whatnot. Picking up their 3rd NPC, we'll have the 2 in Bianco open to claim out 5 NPCs. And as a reminder, Mason also not too terribly far away from 8 NPC Blues or Rico Shadow Mario Gold down in row 3, which would be kind of interesting with Turbo as well. And then it would come down to a Noki 100/100s in a secret contention for row 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which Mason may want to consider, honestly, coming up pretty soon here after this Pinna 2, maybe Pinna 3. 12 level shines. 6, 9, 12. Yep.
Save warping out of there.
Okay, you're gonna do Fruit Ladies here for another NPC. See what Mason wants out of this. Maybe Bianco now for bosses.
Yeah, 4 bosses would be big.
Yeah, Hay is kind of just mismanaging these blues and NPCs right now pretty hard.
Yeah, he's got to realize that blues are not as highly contested as he thinks they are, and for already being behind, this is not good.
It's kind of weird doing this after Manta, because you've already spent all that time to set up for that boss and do the boss, and you're just like sitting on that 4 unique 4 boss play for a very long time now.
I guess this is set up for 8 NPCs, but you know, at what cost is this setup gonna bring you?
So, hey, delaying 5 NPCs. Now off to open Pinna is going to be sad with 4 bosses, but can still win 4 uniques.
As 7 links as well.
Yes, linked pairs.
So that'd actually finish out that row.
Yeah, and then Mason kind of... I don't know if Mason's too sad about row 2. There. Mason's going to be kind of sad, though, with row 1 and not getting 5 NPCs, because then it's going to be relying on 50 totals. So then you're relying on row 3, 4, and 5, which you're really well set up for 5. You're pretty close to row 3 confirm if you just finish Rico. And then row 4, you'll be getting 4 bosses right here. You're a Manto away from 5 bosses. You're a little bit of a Pinot away from 5 from 2. So...
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's probably why Hay's going so hard on row 3 right now for 8 NPCs, because Hay can't afford to lose that row. Hay is... If he's going to lose 4 bosses, it's going to be kind of tough to win 5 bosses as well. And then 5 from 2, Mason's definitely favored for.
5 NPC clicked and 4 boss clicked. Mason's in a very good spot right now. See where he opts to go. Back to Pinna.
Yeah, and Hay's
life down here.
Hay's still getting value out of this for 4 uniques. And that click might come as a little bit of a blessing, because now Hay can go and grab the 7 or some of the Pinna links after the fight.
Oh, Mason thinking about it, and now is going to come back for the Delfino linked.
Hay not looking like he wants those Pinna links, though, going straight for that shine.
So Mason will now have 4 links. And... oh, okay, no. Just not gonna grab the rest of that link.
Yeah. Linked pairs have been a part of this match, I guess. Both players wanting and not wanting the goal at the same time.
I really hope Mason doesn't do the 3 Pinna links and then like click it, because that would be tragic.
So,
Hay, yeah, out of this, gonna go into Bianco 5. This is a very good call for Hay. This would be 5 bosses and
2 more NPCs.
2 more NPCs, and gives you access to that 7th bird.
Alright, not really looking towards the NPCs, though.
Mason definitely only has Bianco, Gelato, and Rico linked, and then got half of the Delfino linked, so he still needs that remaining half.
I'm not really a fan of waiting till, or not getting the 2 NPCs in Bianco till after 5, just because they're right there next to each other in 5, and in other episodes,
Yeah, I don't even remember
little,
where the dude is in 6.
Yeah, I want to say he's up by where the PD, like where you just initiate the PD5 fight.
Yeah, either up there or on top of the windmill. I think top of the windmill is 7, so...
yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I'm just a big fan of getting them in 5.
So if Mason clicks this off, we will need to unclick it, since we very clearly saw... Yep, that's that is an unclick, since he did not finish the Delfino linked pair.
I honestly didn't see it, so I'm just going to trust you. Not that I don't trust you, but just putting out my position on this.
I'm assuming chat saw it, so...
Okay, this also might be a silly question, but what are the other linked pairs he's gotten? Gelato, Rico?
Gelato, Bianco, and Rico.
Oh, he got Bianco, okay.
Yes, he got Bianco when he did PD. Or before he did
that's
PD.
Right. That's right.
So he definitely came back, got half of the final link, popped the second half, and just didn't pick it up. I think he just kind of forgot about it, honestly. Like, right after doing it, he's like, I gotta get to Pinna.
Yeah, 7 linked is a huge get for Mason, if he can go and remember which one it is.
Alright, 5 boss here for Haywire. I mark that off. Mason thinking about it.
Oh, hopefully he doesn't think it's Rico. I mean, this is probably just a play for Rico Shadow Mario, but...
Hey, now also grabbing the Delfino linked.
You know, Hay's got to be careful there. He might need to go for 8 NPCs right now.
Let's see. Hay has done 2 Fruit Ladies, a Fire Pianta, and the 2 out of Lorena. So if he gets the 2 in here, he'd be at 7. And he would need to do 1 more Fruit Lady, or Pianta 3 if he really wanted to, I guess.
No, it's got to be Fruit Lady at this point. You gotta go do the Nut Lady.
Mason missing the red, but I think Mason's actually a really good spot right now to...
Yeah, he is.
Take Turbo and 8 NPCs. Hey, N6, gonna grab the Bluebird here.
Yeah, and Bird is really not a priority right now if you're Hay.
I don't know if I'm not 100% certain of the Pinna birds right now in Hay's favor. But gets the bird here, gonna exit area.
Just entering for the bird is a odd call.
Is gonna go to Pinna maybe to try and seal out links. No, looking at birds. Okay, gonna go get the other Delfino bird.
Man, collecting birds while Mason's getting Rico Shadow Mario and Turbo Nozzle is just painful to see.
Yeah, this is... Hay's honestly been in a good position to like counter Mason's route pretty hard, but just like is almost 100% mismanaged these blues.
Yeah, so Mason clicks off Turbo Nozzle and Rico Shadow
7 links
Mario
again. Did he pick up? He didn't pick up the Delfino link.
No.
Again. No.
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 I mean, it's a pretty... I gotta respect the boldness of trying to click that again when you didn't pick up another linked. But yeah, Mason now up 1-0 in this row control match. All right, we're calling
Mason
for a
never
pause.
went to Pianta. No.
All right, Hay played for an extra 15 seconds, I think.
He was also on delay, so...
Is he also on delay? Okay.
Yeah, he was on a slight delay. Yeah, I'll go talk to Mason.
All right, don't give him like information, obviously, on what link. Just say we have multiple people confirming you don't have the goal, I guess. Yeah. All right, Deathline is in a call with Mason. Always nice when the players are in their little calls. So yeah, you're stuck with me now, chat. Deathline's not here to keep me in check and in order. Yes, Dex, you have Peepo arrived into a controversy, but not a controversy. We were keeping count this time, so keeping count is always the way to avoid controversy. All right, Urbani and Deathline are looking at Delfino Plaza Blues. Hopefully not compromising where the linked pair is, and Mason coming up with that on his own. I'm sure Deathline is a man of integrity, though, so we can trust him. Yeah, the tough thing about this goal is you can't just look at blue totals in levels, and you can tell Rico unlock M Fire Piana half linked. Okay, well, Falcon can tell, but Mason, if he's not keeping track like Falcon is, then it's hard to tell what blues you've gotten just by seeing, blue times 3 next to Gelato Beach. Yeah, super unfortunate that this has become a part of this match, but I can't blame Mason for trying to argue his case. All right. Mason is R. Haywire is R.
Okay, so
do we need to give Mason a little bit of a head start?
I don't know, but
he definitely paused before Hey, right?
Yeah, it was like a couple seconds. I don't know if we can enforce that. I don't know. That's up to Lego.
We can just say we can give him 5-second head start, Mason, or I don't know, Lego. Do you mind making that call as the organizer?
But I also went back and watched the VOD and confirmed that he did not.
All right, Mason said we could start at the same time, so if Mason's okay with that, then that's all we need to see. And we are off again. Oh yeah, you're right. Hey definitely has more delay than I thought he had.
It's a couple of seconds on Hey, but yeah. So the only information I provided to Mason was that he has 6.5 links. So he will have to either very clearly remember which part of the half he did not get, or go through each level. And
did he seem to have a hunch at all, or
he seemed to believe that he knew that he had everything, which I provided that he had not everything.
Interesting. Okay, because all I had was watching his screen, and he hovered on Delfino the longest of any of the levels. So it seemed like he was thinking the hardest about that one.
He did tell me that he had Delfino linked, and that his only 3 were the linked and the M, but which I neither confirmed nor denied. But I just said you do not have 7 links. So 5 from 2 from Mason. Pinna 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming he did 2R.
Yeah, I think that's the one he saved. Didn't he save warp out of 2R?
Did he say 4 beds? Oh yeah, he has 4 hidden. So yeah, that makes sense. There's 7 for Hay, which Hay... Yeah, Hay has 7.
Yeah, that's all kosher.
As long as he finished all the pin of wings, which I believe he did. Mason going to see this half of the link here and be very sad.
Mason now no longer hates Deathline for unclicking that twice.
Yeah, so goal was clicked by Hay as well. So Hay has claimed row 2. Mason has claimed row 3. Got 5 from 2. 7 birds got clicked by Hay. Yeah, that's sure. That seems correct. Okay. 50 totals. Right there. So Hay has also claimed row 1. It is currently 2-1. And Mason is ahead to both of the remaining rows. He honestly just needs Cannon Mole and then just like sit in Bianca 1 and life grind. Hay needs to make the call to like life grind right now.
Oh my goodness, yes, he does. They're actually a little bit even in like physical Delfino shines, because Hay did a couple and Mason did a couple.
Hay going to Serena? Is he going to do Serena 2 as well?
Doesn't have the hover nozzle though.
Into a life grind after, like do Serena 2, then come back for Serena 2R.
You just got to go to Bianca 1 at this point. I think this is getting a little too cute with it.
I would have to agree. I think Mason finishes this and gets back into Bianca 1 before Hay can grind wise. I don't know. This is going to be pretty close, actually. Mason get a little lucky with that bomb throw. Got smacked by the Gumi and then still managed to get the hit.
I mean, I guess you could grind lives in Serena 2 without hover if you grab the one in the block and the one in the melon, but...
Yeah, I think Hay is doing this
fast at all.
to open Serena 2R, which I think he might be forgetting about Serena or Bianca 1. Because honestly, I forget about Bianca 1 all the time.
Yeah, that's gotta be it, because I don't in any world you think, oh, Serena 2R is fast if I have to do 2 whenevers and Serena 2 to get there. With like the only world that is a thought, I think, is if you end up forgetting about Bianca 1.
But yeah, now Mason also has the opportunity to just do Delfino Shines instead. So now it comes down to a 50-50 on Delfino Shines and life grinding. Mason has like
that for
20
Mason
blues to his name, I think.
Yeah, 20 is just not enough.
So he'll have to grind quite a bit.
Oh, is he going to do Delfino life grind with Delfino shines? That's an interesting way to 50-50 it.
Man, 22 lives is so many, though. But yeah, like, Haywire is now kind of stuck just committing to this, so... If Mason can pick up enough Delfino shines to outweigh the 30 blue deficit he has, then this could be interesting.
Alright, Mason going after Shadow Mario here.
Yep, gonna pick up Yoshi. He's gonna need some of these slower Delfino shines for sure, considering he only has 20 blues to trade in, which he only has 18 right now. So that means you need 11 physical, which 11 physical means you gotta do some pretty not great ones.
Well, Yoshi can help you get, you know, Lighthouse and Right Bell. Especially on you with Infinite Flutters, Lighthouse is not that bad.
And he's not too far away from, I guess, Turbo, so you could do Turbo Cop and Goldbird relatively quickly. But yeah, I don't know how many shines Mason has in Delfino currently, nor do I know how many Hay has. Hay has at least 2. Mason has at least 4 with this.
Man, Mason's even gonna get this life here in Lily Pad to help with the
Hay
grind.
is
Oh, never
having
mind.
a time with these Sereno Whenevers right now.
I jinxed Mason. Oh, and he's gonna miss that blue or that red coin there.
Not impossible to back up, but this, yeah, is not great to have to back up. Dude,
Yeah,
Hay is
both
having
players.
a time right now.
Both players having some gameplay mistakes. You know,
They
the nerves are coming
finally
out
hit
here.
it.
Haywire does enter Serena 2. Very easy not to remember to scroll back.
Yeah, if Hay entered 3, exited area, then spent another like 2 minutes on Sereno Whenever, that would be tragic.
Not grabbing the box life is there, right? In
Yes.
2. Not grabbing that, I feel like, is a little bit of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, 7 links was huge for Mason. He really just needed that half, and then he forces Hay to have to go to Pianta Hidden to confirm row 2. So it is now a question of, can Mason do all these Delfinos before Hay grinds 22 lives, which that first cycle was not great.
Yeah, not ideal. If you're good, you can get 3 lives per cycle. Really got to round up those stews a lot tighter than that.
Yeah.
That's a good point by Yato. Hundreds also provide lives, so
Yep.
you could be going for a Delfino 100 in between this as well.
5 right now? He has those 3, he has those 2, so yeah. Mason's at 5 physical. Does only have 18 blues, so he will need to pick up 2 blues somewhere to at least get that to trade in. He's not too far away from Turbo.
Ooh, and Haywire missing the triple that on that one, only getting a +2 on that cycle.
Okay, Mason finding the M into Fox game. Yeah, and also slowly picking up points to work towards 100 coin shine.
Yeah, this is a very slow hundreds, and if you're dipping below Isle Delfino consistently, if you die when you have 60 or 70 while trying to life grind just from some small mishap, then
yeah,
that could be
tragic.
really tragic. Yeah. So Mason's got to be careful during the life grind.
Has 25 now, so can access the turbo for Turbo Cop and Goldbird. Should he so choose? He's at 6 physical now. He needs to find 7 more shines in Delfino with trades.
Well, that was a really well done cycle there by Hay.
Very clean Shadow Mario by Mason.
All right. A perfect cycle here gets Hay to 22 lives, and
there it is, clicked.
And confirmed he has it. 23, actually.
Oh.
Because he gets to exit area.
Even if he dies, he is okay. So Mason will now need 5 physical shines from here. Let's see, if Mason does Left Bell, Ox Game 2, Pachenko or Goldberg, he can get 3 more and then access the Rocket Nozzle, which would make Right Bell and Shine Gate and Lighthouse way easier.
Well, right now, I think Goldberg is a really fast one.
Yeah, Goldberg's not too bad with the Turbo Nozzle now. Hay, on the other hand, is at 7 as well with trades.
Yeah, but that trade does take a bit.
So Mason currently has a 2-shine lead. Can he hold on to this 2-shine lead?
And this is where I think Hay's commitment to 7 birds so early on kind of coming back to bite him. And in that time, he could have been focusing more on this pivotal row 4 instead of, row 1, where you have 5 NPCs, you have 50 totals, but 7 bluebirds, you haven't really seen anything that makes you think Mason would have progress to that.
Yeah, and also not finishing out eight NPCs was pretty big for Hay. Had the opportunity to pick up the NPCs in Bianco and just, do Durian with Pineapple Lady or just go do Coconut Lady or something like that. Which would have made row 3 a lot harder for Mason. You just have to commit to a Noki 100 or a 100 in a secret, which is, 2 to 4 minutes, right?
Yeah. The good thing for Mason in that situation would have been having Noki 200s available. But
true.
Yeah, either way, it does slow down your opponent's win con, and in doing so helps you reach yours.
Okay, Mason working on left bell. Let's look at him 30. Just needs 2 more shines. We'll have the rocket available to him. Could do right bell, shine gate, lighthouse, pop secret, pachinko, tall grass. He has quite a bit of options. Hay, I believe, is that their 4th or 5th physical now as well? So I think they're still trailing by just 1 or 2 shines in Delfino.
Yeah, it's so tough to make up ground in Delfino shines.
Which a rough rocket kill could make up the difference here, but Hay still needs to power ahead. Is at 6 currently. Okay. So yeah, they're actually tied. Just Hay needs another trade. Hay needs to trade and get the same amount of shines.
Yeah, Mason really making sure not to enter Gelato there on accident. That would have been tragic.
Which, can Hay do that before Mason finishes this in Shine Gate or Right Bell?
I don't think so.
Probably not. Unless something catastrophic happens, knock on wood, no commentator's curse.
If he goes for Right Bell, you can...
Yeah, you can slip off, which would be terrifying. Shine Gate would be safer from here.
But then again, you don't even have to get on top of the steeple part to really go up if you do like a rocket storage. So
that is true.
Not that dangerous. All right, we're looking at Shine Gate.
Very clean entry into that, and Hay picking Pachinko. Yeah, Pachinko's a little, not terribly slow, but it is a bit of a commitment. Which, yeah, there it is. 13 shines from Delfino. GG, Mason taking it game 3 in row control, 3-2.
Yeah, really good match. So much back and forth here. Just, oh man, Hay in good position, Mason in good position. Great way to...
Really close.
Yeah, great way to finish up the final semifinal.
If Hay honestly had just slightly better life grinding cycles, he may have won this.
Yeah. Or even just going to Bianco life grind.
Or, yeah, Bianco life grind probably would have been faster from that point. Yeah, I think the Serena whatevers were also really slow.
Yeah, like going to Bianco, I think for the life grind before doing Serena 2. Oh, hello, Hay.
Hello, Hay. GG's on the matches.
BT.
Yeah, well fought match.
Welcome Mason. GG's, and congratulations on your victory and solidifying the 2-1 set victory to make it to Division 2 finals.
Thanks, GG's. Hey.
BT.
Oh boy, that was a set.
So should we start with this match, or do we want to talk a little bit about the invasion match as well?
I feel like I played the invasion well after losing to Piantissimo.
Yeah, that was kind of tragic and just set the kind of pace for the match for you. Mason, getting stuck in row 1 from where you were. You played it very well, though. I didn't think you were going to manage 10 goals out of row 1, but you did, so well done.
Yeah, I think
row
you
1 and
played
row
out
2
of
was
that.
just tough.
I think you played out of that very well as well. I think Hayes' side of the board kind of just worked too well together, and a lot of stuff just flowed together nicely. It was really hard to stop.
I wonder if I should have prioritized 5 secrets, ignored Rico 1 until after I get 5 secrets, just so I have a 45 totals.
Yeah, it would have been tough for sure.
Yeah.
And then go through Pinna, get Pinna 5 from the back, take the other row 3 goals I had. Because I was set up so well for row 3 and row 4, but row 2.
Yeah, you just
so difficult with my start.
had to suffer through 5 Pinna shines and like picking up 6 reds, which was just really hard with doing Pianta into Serena. So,
yeah, I think if I start
listen.
like Bianco hidden, then that row's fine.
Yeah, does Hay have context for what happened at the beginning? I left towards when the match finished to go get dinner, so I don't know if...
No, I didn't know that he
Yeah, I
died
lost
to
the
Piantissimo.
Piantissimo because I didn't touch the flag.
Yeah.
I thought I did. I was so close to the flag.
That's rough.
Yeah, I want to make sure Hay has the context there because I don't think Hay understood that. So yeah, that's how the beginning of that match started with a race for Pianta. And
I kept going to Pianta because I was like, he knows I'm faster, so he may be playing a setup play. But
yeah, I don't blame you, especially because Pianta 3 is could always have tragedy as well. But I think last match was fairly self-explanatory, and I don't really remember too much from it, if I'm being honest. If y'all have any questions, maybe we could talk a little bit more about that.
I was just confused the entire match and didn't have a plan. I was just constantly improvising my routes. I could have played early game a lot better if I was more like focused on goals. But I was kind of split and I lost all the goals I was going for.
Yeah, you also had that.
Though.
You had that mishap with the bird and gelato where you killed both of them, but then just whiffed on one of the blues and jumped right into the shine, and then it was like really sad. So you had to like go back into gelato.
Yeah, that was in game 1 when I needed 15 gelato blues.
Yep.
So
yeah, invasion.
Now row control.
Really close.
Yeah, really close. The starts, we saw Mason going for Rico with 2 Delfino shines into Rico. Then we saw Hay start with Bianco while also grabbing some early Delfino M's as well. And so what did y'all see about this card that swayed you, Bianco versus Rico? Because we in the commentary booth also saw the pros and cons of both levels. And so I'm curious to see what you guys thought that swayed you one way or the other.
Well, I thought Rico was kind of a didn't go for any like it. My route kind of secured row 5 pretty. He would have had to really commit to steal row 3. Even then, like the 200 toss-ups. I was like, okay, and then I make a play at 1, 2, and 4, and then do act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you're actually not giving enough credit to Bianco's strength towards row 3 because with 2 NPCs and 1 turbo nozzle, really helped out by late Bianco. And of pretty fast hundreds in a secret, whether it's in Bianco 3 or Bianco 6. I think if you prioritize it right, you could get both those goals and not have to work too hard at securing row 3.
Yeah, 8 NPCs that early would have quite a commit. Probably would have given me 5 bosses. If he's having to do fruit ladies and all that.
Well, at that point in the match, Hay actually had 5 NPCs done, right? And he had pretty easy access to 2 more NPCs in Bianco. He hadn't actually yet gotten those, and then all he needed was 1 more Fruit Lady. So that's what I mean by just like different prioritization could have gotten Hay that goal.
Hey, I wanted to ask why you did Manta into like the gelato plus Delfinos plus Delfino blues. Because like you were just kind of sitting on this 4 unique 4 bosses play with Pinna just like for a very long time and ended up barely losing 4 bosses. Is only about by like a minute, if not even at like 40 seconds. So were you just trying to do like a ton of setup or?
My routing this game was just a mess, and I had no idea about anything. I wanted to rush 3 secret. That's why I went for Serena and wanted Serena 2, and then it led into lives later. But
you lost 3 secrets at that point. That makes sense.
Then I was just confused, and I didn't really have a plan. And I wanted to do 4 bosses, but there was so much else I wanted to secure because at that point Mason had like 5 times as many goals as me.
Yeah. It was a good play though, I think, to, lose 4 bosses but still get 5 bosses as well as 4 uniques. So I hats off to you for, staying in those goals, and they were crucial goals in this match.
13 shines from Delfino was really close. If Hay was only like 20 seconds away from finishing Pachinko and then just needed a trade in. So if the life grinding in Serena 2R went better, or if you went to Bianco 1 instead of doing Serena 2 and then going into 2R, or if you just had better Serena whenevers, that may have been your goal.
Can we talk about how I spent like almost 2 minutes, it felt like, on Serena whenever?
It was quite a bit of time.
I never messed that up, and it felt like I had some weird glitch because everything was off.
It's honestly, sometimes I feel like that happens with certain whenevers where it's just not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think better whenevers makes it a fairly toss-up of a match. Especially if the life grind was a little better. You had it going at the end, but the first few cycles were a little rough, Hey?
Yeah, I agree.
But I think going to Bianco 1 before all that just makes it almost a guaranteed win, though. I don't know if you forgot about that or just...
I wasn't sure which was faster.
Gotcha.
I always feel like Bianco 1 life grind is so slow when I had like 4 lives, but it probably was faster than doing Serena 2 first.
Yeah, I think that's... I think it'd be faster not having to
Once he clicks live, I was going for lives in Delfino, so I was slowing down my Delfino.
Yeah, Mason, if you had committed to Bianco 1 life grinding right after Cannon Moles, you may have won it just because of the Serena whenevers, but it would have been pretty close. So split playing 13 shines from Delfino and 22 lives was probably the better call in the end. It may have lost you both goals had everything gone right for Hay, but I still think it was a better call to split play both.
Yeah, I figured Hay would go for lives first just based on well, I felt like lives were the more obvious. So simply with Hay winning total blues. So I was like, okay, either Hay's going to rush lives and he can win both goals, or he's going to try and mind game me, get a Delfino's lead while doing lives. I was already at like 8 lives or whatever, where I got clicked Canimals. So.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think Mason was at 12 lives when Hay started life grinding with 4. So, and I think that was after Hay had done, Serena 2 just to get to the life grinding point.
Yeah. Gotta, I guess, mention 7 links was a bit of a travesty because if Mason gets that goal, then Hay has to suffer through 6 shines of Pianta to confirm row 2, which at that point Mason just sits happily and finishes out row 4 and 5. Yeah, Mason, it was just kind of unfortunate because you got the life right next to Penna. You came back, got that first half of the link, popped the second half, and then just didn't pick it up and went back into Penna.
That's what happened. I was like, and then I zoomed you, and I was like, 3 blues. Okay, that checks out. The 2 linked him. I did not think it was Delfino, but I was so sure I got the Rico linked, the Bianco linked, and the Pinna linked. Thinking it was Gelato, but then I was like, I'm pretty sure I got Gelato too.
Yeah, it was like so quick, and like it just like that the rollout, and then you went right and just didn't pick up the balloon. Like we could just see it was like, oh no.
Because I was never planning on doing row 2, but if I get that, I wasted all that time going for the link. I was like, okay, it's
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense though.
If I had lost to that, I would have just been like, yeah, I deserve to lose.
Yeah. I'm glad that Deathline and Falcon were on top of that, though, to avoid, controversy, and the unclicks were timely.
I was so sure I had it.
Yeah, so Fire Pianta coming in to troll the game.
Fire Pianta is the worst blue in the game.
So this is why PK likes Fire Pianta so much. Just causes chaos like today.
So, yeah, alas, Mason taking it 3-2. Really close game either way. So congratulations to Mason. You will be moving on to Division 2 finals. Hay ending the season at tied 3rd in Division 2, a very respectable placing. So congratulations to you, Haywire.
Thank you.
And with that, we have all of our divisions, finals, matches, pairings, words set. Division 1, we have Despin versus JJ. Division 2, we have Mason versus Deathline. Division 3, we have Yato versus GameStabled. In Division 4, we have Mars versus Vipa. So in the upcoming week and some change, all the final matches will be played. So thanks everyone so much for watching and staying in tune with the season.
Yeah. Good night, everyone, and I guess good morning to Europeans as well.